Again, it's our usual Friday night live, and tonight it's going to be the usual chit chat. We're going to have a bit of a catch up on what I've been up to, and as the title of the video says, I've got a bit of an announcement where we're going to be doing a very huge giveaway very soon. So keep watching, and I'll explain the rules of the giveaway either in this. Yeah, I'll explain the rules of the giveaway in this video, and we'll go from there. So let's see who comes in to join us for a bit of a chat and a bit of a chin wag. And let's see who's coming in. So as usual, we're streaming across two platforms. We're streaming across TikTok and across YouTube. We've got a fair few people who like to come in on TikTok, and loads of people who like to come in on YouTube. So what I'm going to do in the future is we're going to try and go across Instagram and maybe even Twitter at the same time. But we'll get there. We'll get there when we get there. Don't crop me now. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Pauline, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I'm glad you're learning. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. So there we go. We've got let me just put the mute on that video on that phone thing, otherwise it's going to keep going off and off. Sorry about that. So Sean, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Bandit and Graham's coming in with the message saying, yeah, nearly got here at last. You know me, I like to be I have good intentions, but I'm always a little bit fashionably late. If that, yeah. Yes, sweetheart.
I nearly finished the second break.
Okay, wicked, thank you. You're doing a great job. So so the kids are downstairs stripping the wallpaper off the living room wall at the minute. So I just did a video on TikTok a few minutes ago that just went live literally just before. That's Graham, that's what stopped me from coming on here, because I was still editing that and getting that posted on TikTok. We had a fire surround glued to the wall. We've had our chimney taken out a few years ago. Well, I say a few years ago. When we moved into this house, we had our chimney taken out, and we had the old fire surround just glued to the wall. So I've just been ripping that off the wall, getting ready for our wood burner to be installed this week. And yeah, so just did a little DIY video of that, post it on TikTok, and that's why I'm late. That's my excuse this time, Graham. Kat Shay's here. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Just making an entrance. Absolutely, exactly. Carano, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in, joining us from Scotland. Big Mac, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. And Phil, I like your laid back style, enjoying your videos. Phil, I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. I mean, laid back, I just try and be as natural as possible. I don't like to be overly dramatic or overly sort of pretentious. I'm just me. Yeah. And just trying to, the thing is, there's so many what we need to do is we need to show that there's normal people that can garden and normal people that can get on and do things, and that's all it is. I'm a guy living in a normal semi with a bigger than usual back garden. Yeah, any excuse, mate. You're always late. See, I've always got good intentions, Graham. I'm always planning on being here. I was up in my room. Yeah, so this is my studio, by the way, guys. So this is I haven't got one of those fancy studios. I'm just in my bedroom. I'm a guy in my bedroom. Yeah, so I was up here at 20 to 8, getting ready for the live. Still editing this little TikTok video, hoping to get it go live, and it just took a little bit longer than I thought. So Mimi Susu's joining us from Florida. Alan joining us from Northern Ireland. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in, Alan. Hope everything's good with you. That's me done. I've never been. Yeah, no, you see, normal's overrated, man. That's all I say. Normal's way overrated. Icky, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping good. What's going on over on TikTok? We don't have much of. Let's see who. No, there's not many people over there, so that's fine. So what's everyone been up to? Tell me, give me a catch up. Give me
Papa, I need to get some of Zaki's pajamas. Can you move the washing basket?
Can I move the washing basket? See, the way my setup here is I've got a really sophisticated setup. I've got a webcam on top of my laptop, which is sat on top of the washing basket, and I'm sat on top of the bed.
And he's got a tripod, and then there's a phone and record.
Yeah.
Doing another live stream
so there you
on
go.
another app.
There you go, buddy. Squeeze in from that side. So it's the usual. It's all the hecticness of family life that we've got to cope with. So do the live stream, be a professional YouTuber or whatever, for whatever that's worth, and try and be a dad to these guys at the same time. Dave, can you close that door for me? Oh, he's gone. He's gone. So you seem way more upbeat this week. Yeah, you have you have your mojo back. It's because I'll tell you why. Just let me just shut the door. Well, the thing is, it's been a non-stop day today. So I'm getting this wood burner thing coming in on. Can you keep that door closed, please? And what? Yeah, you stepped on my chargers. That's what you did.
Stepped on something when I was coming in.
So I'm getting my wood burner this Thursday, so I'm quite excited about that. So I've been gathering.
Why do we need a wood burner?
To keep warm.
What do we do with it in the summer?
We don't
get rid of it like we did with the old fireplace.
No, we don't turn it on. We don't have to have fires in the summer. But yeah, so I've been gathering firewood for the last few weeks, and today I was out on a site. It's an ice cream place in Leeds. In their car park, they chopped a load of trees down and just abandoned them in the car park. And I thought, oh, I can't miss an opportunity. I've got to go have that. So I went down and I just brought the whole, 3 trees, nice big. They're not massive, probably about 8 inches wide, that sort of thing. And no, I love that. I love that. Thank you. No. I told you, you're not doing that well there. Okay. So they're probably about 8 inches wide. Yeah, you can take it downstairs and go on Google Maps. So they're about 8 inches wide. So I went and fetched them, and then since I got them back, just dumped them in the drive, and then straight after that, I've been pulling the fireplace off the wall, and these guys have been stripping the wallpaper off the wall. So it's all go. My wife's been at me for redecorating the living room for the last couple of years, and it's just one of those jobs that's going to happen. And just before I came on, she's just reminding me of the fact that I was supposed to have done this, redecorated the living room a couple of years ago, and yeah, so when Graham, you're saying I'm late, yeah, but I get there in the end. That's what's making me laugh before I came on. So she's winding me up about that. So a bit of family jokes beforehand. So yeah, so that was nice. A little bit of a bit of jokes to boost me up for the day. So what's your thoughts on growing onions from seed over winter? So I think it's brilliant. I sowed some onions at the start of October. They're about this sort of size, about 1.5 inches sort of size. I'm going to sow more onions now. I don't like sowing them. I know there's a common saying that you sow them on the shortest day and harvest them on the longest day. I'm not, being from the north of England, I'm not a believer in that. I don't think it works for us up here. For us up here, I think if you're growing from seeds with onions, I think you should start them towards the end of September till about the mid-November. That's your sort of really good window. Obviously, if you miss it, then it's not the end of the world. But I think that's your peak window. And then when you come to spring, you've got some nice, thick, robust plants that you can plant out, and they're a lot thicker. And especially if you're clumsy like me, you're not ending up snapping every single onion seed or onion plant. Yeah, so that's what I think anyway. So we've got Dottie from Vermont. Thank you very much for joining us. Pauline, can you send your kids around to mine this weekend to help me in the garden? My kids don't want to know. See, do you know there's a correlation, I think, that the kids' ability to help, as they get older, as that goes up, the willingness to help goes down. So Tayyib used to be with me all the time in the garden. Khadija non-stop. Now it's taking a bit more persuasion persuading if I can get my word out, to get them to come and help me. Little Zaki, of course, he just wants to get involved with everything.
It's kind of annoying.
Yeah. So Paul Morris from Bronte Country, thank you very much for coming in. Only Komodo, Dragon and Lemon Drop hot prairie chilies left in the greenhouse, doing really well. I've still got most of my chilies in the greenhouse doing all right. It's not been as cold as it normally is, so I'm just keeping an eye out. As soon as we forecast a frost, that's when I'll harvest all my chilies. I think we've got a big chili harvest happening this weekend. My mum's been on at me to do it for the last couple of weeks. I think it might happen this weekend if I get around to it. I started my onions 2 weeks ago. There we go. I get big onions starting in January. Difficulties at starting plants over winter. They do much better with light. See, with onions, I always just leave them in an unheated greenhouse outside, and they always seem to grow decent sort of size. Unless you're growing for sort of competition, with onions, I wouldn't bother with lights. I mean, I do have a set of grow lights, and I do grow my chilies under grow lights, but I think my chilies need special treatment. So where onions and garlic are in, thanks to this guy's videos. Pauline, I'm glad your onions and garlic are in. Let's see who's joining us over on TikTok. Shaz26 is in. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in.
Wow.
So
I like architecture.
So I'm lucky my lady does the decor. Oh, you are lucky. See, yeah. My wife, she does all the painting, that sort of thing. But I'm not very good at painting. I'm very clumsy when it comes to painting.
Can I show them the Eiffel Tower?
But when it comes to, yeah, you can show the Eiffel Tower. But when it comes to wallpapering,
the Eiffel Tower.
There you go. There's the Eiffel Tower for you guys. But when it comes to wallpapering, yeah, I'm good at wallpapering. I'm really good at wallpapering. 3 wheels and a block. How are you doing? Long time no see. Hope you and your family are well. I'm so proud of you. I'm glad you came in for a drop by. Hope everything's good with you. I'm going to be taking some cuttings of chilies this weekend. Have a super heated. Oh wow, wicked. Tanvir Fatima, wa alaikum assalam. Nur Ali, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Tell me about it. My daughter, 22, refuses point blank to help. Exactly. Is as they get older and they have more of an ability to help, they just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So Gorgon, sorry, I'm completely messing your name up. Goran from Croatia. Hope everything's good. I just can't read today. D, how are you doing? Sorry I'm late. Not a problem at all. Glad you made it. Guys, if you haven't hit that like as you're coming in, please hit that like for us as well. We're on, we've got 15 likes, 26 people. Let's get that like count up a little bit.
Can someone tell me a country with good architecture?
Country with good architecture. Try Turkey, Istanbul. So Derek, when your kids get in their late 20s like ours, they start helping again. I think they think you're not up to it. So I've got to wait. I've got to wait till that age. I've got a few years to wait then. In 20 years' time, they're going to come and help me again. We're all well. Gardening's coming back in 2023. Fantastic. I'm 63. Kids refuse to help.
I just sound hard.
So there you go. Everyone said Italy has some nice architecture. So Pauline said Italy, and Goran said Italy as well.
Thanks.
Greece as well.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go visit Greece.
You'll go visit Greece, okay. Giveaway, walaikum assalam, by the way. How are you doing? You had a great harvest. We're still getting tomatoes, beans, and broad beans. So yeah, I'm getting loads of tomatoes as well. Still, we've got loads of tomatoes still outside. They still seem to be going strong, so I'm just going to leave them and just wait. Yeah. All the ones that we did in the last video where we picked loads of tomatoes, they're all in the house turning red, and I'm picking them. Yeah, I'm munching on them. Brassicas and sprouts are netted no more. Cats, thank goodness. Have a large number of leaves around my area. Okay to run the lawnmower over and put it on my borders. Absolutely. I'd collect as many. Now's the time to be collecting as many leaves as you can, bringing it all back, shredding them, turn it into leaf mulch, turn it into just mulch as general. Just add it to your compost piles. Leaves are fantastic. One thing that I would recommend is try and maximize the variety as possible. So if you've got loads of oak leaves, then try and get some sycamore and try and get some ash leaves and different leaves in there as well, and also different colors. Do you know the colors represent different minerals or trace elements that are in the leaves as well, and that's a good way of remineralizing your soil. So if you can get different colors, different varieties, fantastic. Mimi Susu says Dubai's got some nice architecture. London has amazing architecture. Don't need to leave the country, young man. He's not going to leave his bedroom. He's on his laptop. Do you think the rain we had this year made such an effect? Last year was different. I think the lack of rain that we had this year has really hurt us. So I need to get some time in the garden. Hopefully, we've got school holidays next week, so I've got the evenings free for the week before the clocks go back. No, yeah, before the clocks change. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some work on preparing the ground, trying to dig some channels to capture water and soak water into the ground and make the water, so make the soil more absorbent to water, not just by adding mulch, but actually changing the physical structure of the ground. I've got some ideas that I've been toying with. There's one channel that I dug last year and it seemed to work, and we're just going to carry on that same sort of method. And maybe I don't know if we'll get around to doing it this holiday. It might have to wait till sort of Christmas holidays when I'm gonna fix the footpath. So we've got this manky footpath, old concrete footpath from way back when, from probably when the house was built, that needs to be done properly. Yeah.
Wow.
So AJ's here. How are you doing? Thank you very much.
It's a broken wall.
What's that?
It's a broken wall in Germany.
A broken wall in Germany. What is it?
Can you read German?
No, I can't read German. So AJ is one of my patrons. Thank you very much for supporting us that way as well.
Look, a house.
Jennifer Pompey from Hershey, Pennsylvania. Do you know Indiana, Pennsylvania? Do you know that area at all? Or are you anywhere near there? Vienna, Derek's from Vienna. Are you from Vienna, or are you just saying Vienna? Vienna's got some for the architecture. I've 6 ton of leaves from a country estate, a garden on. If you want 6 ton of leaves, get that turned into leaf mold. Absolutely amazing stuff. Do you know? Let it just stack it up, leave it somewhere, and forget about it. Do you know? Just if you got that sort of amount of leaves, just stack it up. Yeah, forget about it. Come back in a couple of years, and that'll be such amazing compost to you know, it'll transform your soil. It'll be great for starting seeds in. Yeah, just forget about it. Just put it in one corner and just stack it. Sorry, visitors here. Gotta go. See you next week. Icky, we'll see you again soon. Thanks for popping in. We're including 18 chicken eggs, 6 being mixed, 6 being mixed, 6 being mixed again, and elite leghorns. Inshallah, they're all hatching in my school holidays next week, so I'm gonna document it. Fantastic. Yeah,
I'm gonna have a busy school
fantastic
holiday.
Have you ever seen chicken eggs hatch before? It's quite nerve-wracking. The first time was it the first time?
I remember when the first time was the beak, like it was just popping out trying to get some air to breathe,
and then
more cracks started, and then overnight it started breaking through more.
Yeah.
And eventually it was able to bust out of the shell.
See, best architecture I've ever seen was Barcelona. The work of Anthony Gaudi is so beautiful, almost
There's
organic.
There's a Hulk movie poster here.
See, do you know what? I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit there. I went to Barcelona in my 20s, and everyone was on about this.
Wait,
do you know the Sagrada Familia? Is that the big church? Is that the one that we're talking about? Everyone was talking about this amazing church, and I was like, do you know, it didn't live up to the hype. The park, the Gaudi Park, that was cool. That was impressive. But some of the structures and some of the wall buildings in Barcelona, especially along the La Ramblas, they were all right, but I didn't think they were all that. The Gaudi Park was absolutely amazing. We've got some great pictures up there. I'll see if I can dig them out. But yeah.
I'm gonna go to Legoland.
Turkey Blue Mosque is a great architecture. Never been there, but seen pictures. Yeah, I'd definitely. Yeah. Jennifer Pompey. Not familiar with Indiana. I've only traveled through it. Yeah, so I lived.
Took a dip in the ocean.
I went to university, Indiana, Pennsylvania. So IUP. Yeah. I've seen some hatch, alhamdulillah. So yeah, it is, but it's nerve-wracking. When our eggs were hatching, not last year, the year before, we had loads of eggs in the incubator. They all looked fertile. There were loads of them looked fertile. The ones that didn't, we took out. And some, you know, they were hatching.
Some of them didn't make it. Some of them suffocated.
Yeah, that's sad. So some of them, you know, that they half got out the egg. And I was sat there watching, should I get involved? Should I not? Should I get involved? And I left it overnight, came back the next morning, and the chick died.
They were even born.
And so what I did after that was the sort of last 2 eggs to be sort of pipping and looking like they were about to hatch. And then they started struggling. I did get involved, and I did break the shell a little bit for that. And then those 2 chicks made it. So out of that first batch, we got a really poor hatch rate. And I think from about 20 eggs, we got about 3 chicks.
That egg the chick that died before it could get out of the shell was just sad.
Yeah,
like it wasn't even technically born, and it was already dead.
Yeah, you're right, mate. So I have a massive amount of partial leaf mulch from last year. Now I need to find more space to get this year's in. What you could do is, if you move that out of the way, don't do that, man. So if you pull that out, put your new leaves in the old pile, or where the old ones were. Please don't do that. Put your new leaves. He's sticking his head over the camera so you can see up his nose.
Trying to just like
don't do
only
that.
show my
No.
eyes.
No, but you could see right up your nostrils.
It's hard. The camera is small.
But yeah, what I was saying was, if you pull the old leaf mold out and put the new leaves there, and then put your old stuff on top, it'll help the old stuff break down a little bit faster because of the bacteria on the fungus that's already in there. And when it comes to next year, you can just take the top stuff off and use that, and the old stuff will break down underneath, and you can leave that for another year. Should you avoid getting sycamore seeds in your leaf collection? I don't worry about it. I really don't worry about it. I think there's bigger things to worry about, because sycamore seeds are so big, yeah, and the plants are so big. You know, I've got this massive sycamore tree right in my garden, so I can't avoid it. We get showered with sycamores. What happens is the sycamore seeds come out really, springtime we get loads of little sycamore seedlings pop up. As I go around the garden, I'll just pull them out as I see them. They're really easy to spot, and they're really easy to pull out when they're young. And that young leaves with those first two leaves that come out, those seed leaves, they're absolutely full of nutrition. So they make great mulch. So I see it as a way of getting free mulch. And the same thing if you use so if you make your own seed compost and it's got sycamore seeds in it, the sycamore seeds are so obvious and they're so easy to pull out. I don't think it's such a worry about it. I mean, it can be a little bit annoying because there's that many of them, but I don't think it's that big of a problem. I don't think you should go. I don't think it should put you off. Have you ever kept ducks? I love incubating chickens. All of mine were in-house. I've never kept ducks. My mum, we keep saying we're going to get ducks because one of the things that my mum keeps saying is that, when she was a little girl in Bangladesh, she was like the Pied Piper of ducks. She literally had hundreds of ducks that she'd just leave out onto the fields. They'd go out, they'd do their foraging, and then they'd make their way back in at the evening time. They'd just waddle all back in. But yeah, the park is good in Barcelona. I've never seen the outdoor escalators. I thought that park was absolutely amazing. Sheep is allotment, very good actually, very good. Been an absolutely hectic day, and I'm a little bit pumped simply because we're going to get this log fire soon. So like the title of the video says, we've got a giveaway coming up. We're at just under 45,000 subscribers. So as soon as we hit 50,000 subscribers, we're going to do a really big giveaway. And I'm going to put in loads of small prizes and then some big jackpots. I'll do a video very soon explaining how the giveaway is going to work, or what exactly is going to happen, what the rules of the giveaway are. And it's not going to be just random pick your names out of hats. Because what happens with that is we have the regular visitors, we have the people who watch all the videos, and they don't get rewarded. So what we'll do is we'll do something that rewards you guys who regularly watch the channel, who regularly supporting us and regularly sharing our stuff out. So share our videos out, get us to that 50k, and then as soon as we get to that 50k, we're going to do a massive giveaway. And I mean, it's going to be a big giveaway. It will make a difference to someone's gardening year. So let's see who's coming up. Mystery Snip, walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in. C88. Oh, I'm not sure what that's supposed to say. Love the content. Keep it going. Been learning how to make fermented pop this week. I love fizzy pop, but it's expensive and a lot of it tastes weird after this sugar tax thing. Hoping to make ginger beer in the next few days. See, I quite like Pepsi Max. um, Gardening, mine are laying so much at the moment, can't keep up with them. Mine have stopped laying for a while. Mine are sort of going through their molt, and they stopped laying. I think getting rid of the big boy made a bit of stop. Might have stopped them from laying. I don't know if that made any impact, but it might have done. But they've all stopped laying at the moment. Need some organic ginger though. Couldn't find it. Hoping the shop has enough yeast on it. The shop boat has enough yeast on it. Huh? Oh. So why do you need yeast on the ginger? Silky bantams don't need much space. Mine have an entire cage shared with another a karate chicken. What's a karate chicken? So free to laugh. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in from San Francisco. Hope all is good with you. So do you grow grapevines? Is it okay to leave them over winter or just give them a first year undercover? See, I'm not an expert when it comes to grapes. I've got a grapevine. It's never produced really well. I've never really looked after it, and I've never learned enough about it. It's something that I need to learn a bit more about. So I'm not. It's not something that I'm really knowledgeable on. Zakaria Kausar, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in. So gardening, you're asking about what you can win. You're gonna have to watch. I'll do a video explaining exactly what and how it's gonna work. You just have to watch that, and you'll see the rules for it. But we're not far from 50,000 subscribers. We should be able to get there very soon. So as soon as we get there, then we'll get the big prizes out. Yeah, it'll be a good amount of money at least. I'll always recommend your channel to anyone intimidated by starting. 44k. 0.8, massive achievement. We get to 50. Yeah, it's grown. I mean, we've only been on YouTube for 4 years, so we're coming up to a 4-year anniversary. When I started on YouTube, I had no idea what we're doing. Really didn't know anything about YouTube community. Didn't know anything about video editing. Didn't know anything. Didn't even know how to hold a camera straight. Everyone laughed at me so much from the way I was just holding the camera portrait 1 second and then switching to landscape and then waving the camera around like a lunatic, and then staring into the camera like a serial killer, sort of, that kind of look. But I think we've come a long way since then. We've come a long way since then. But yeah, I remember, Tony's not here, but I remember speaking to Tony, and he was after 4 years, he was on about 10, 15k, that sort of mark. But we've had one really successful video, one absolutely crazy successful video that's hit over 1 million views. That's what skewed our figures quite a lot. Andrea Moore, I nearly missed tonight's feed. Need to work out how I can get a notification. If you ring the bell, but YouTube's always late sending out notifications. Some people, a lot of people will get the notification that I'm actually live. They'll get it tomorrow. If you ring the bell, make sure the bell's clicked and make sure your YouTube settings are set to receive notifications as well. Then you'll get your notifications. Chickens stop laying when they're broody and stuff, or is there a time in the year when they stop? So some chickens can, depends on the type of chickens. So if you've got sort of red laying hens, they lay about 250 eggs a year. So they won't go broody, or very rarely they'll go broody. They normally stop laying during their molt. So when they lose their feathers in the summer and they lose their feathers in the winter, they normally stop laying it for a little bit at that time. Also, when the light levels drop really low, they also stop laying at that time because it's just too dark for them. It doesn't fit with the natural cycle. So if you wanted to keep them laying during winter time, then you need some sort of lighting for them. But yeah, we're just happy with whatever we get from them. Jewel Oliver, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Mystery Snip, instead of the regular fruit veg planting, I went to Indoor Plants, bought a spider plant 2 years ago, and a few months it gives off around 15 baby plants. Oh wow, that's amazing. I've got a spider plant. It's given off its first baby, and a flower spike as well. Would love to have chickens, but there's too many foxes around here. So we get foxes, and we've got a fox that seems to have babies, and when it has its cubs in the spring, they always use my middle bed in the garden as their sunbathing spot. Over the years, we've lost, over about 10 years, we've probably lost about 8 chickens to foxes. And we lost a load of chickens in one go. There were sort of new chickens to our flock, young chickens, and they were getting bullied a little bit, so they didn't go inside the pen at night time. They stayed outside, and they got attacked by a fox. They slept right near the chicken, the fence, and the fox got them through the fence. But apart from that, we've had very few fox attacks in the coop itself. The only time that they have attacked is when they've been free ranging, and then no one's been there to look out for them. So what we started doing was they'd only free range when we were outside with them. But at the moment, no chicken's allowed to free range. We're in chicken lockdown at the moment in the UK because of bird flu. And it's been like that for the best part of 2 years now that we've been on chicken lockdown. Need a bit of natural yeast on the ginger to start the fermentation process. Non-organic might be treated with biocides which kill the yeast. Could you add yeast to it, or is it a different type of yeast? Excuse me. Let's see. I think it's a brilliant channel for everyday gardener tips, inspiration. I think you're brilliant to us public gardeners. See, I need to learn how to take a compliment. Yeah, that's what one of the things Tony says to me. But yeah, I mean, we just do our best. We just try and show what we're doing, and as it happens, whatever's happening in our life, we share with you. There's some videos that I was watching from when we started on YouTube, and you can see Tayyib and Khadija, and they're absolutely tiny. They're absolutely tiny. Tayyib's in high school now, and some of the people who've been watching us since we first started, you know, it's like we're part of their family because they're watching us. They're watching us every day. They watch, you know, they're seeing the kids grow up. Little Zaki from when he could barely even speak. Um, there's one video of us harvesting potatoes, right? And I'm picking out potatoes, putting them in a bucket, and Zach is like, "This is my bucket," and every time I put a potato in, he just chucks it back at me. So yeah, there's things like that that people remember, and I think that sort of thing just makes that personal connection, and people just, yeah, it's like being part of the family. Um, what's the 1 million video? So the 1 million video is we did a one of the things that you know me, I love playing with compost. I like playing with compost. So I made a small batch composting method, and I don't like I don't like compost in the consistency of shop bought compost. I don't like that sort of thing. I like it sort of quite rough and quite not fully broken down. That's going to break down in a little bit of time. Doing its breaking down as the plants are growing. So I made this composting method that you can use probably a wheelbarrow load of material, compost that down, and you can compost it in less than 2 weeks. It sort of works on a combination of solar, on ground bacteria and worm activity, as well as a thermophilic composting process. So there's a video called, and the thumbnail's composting in 10 days. And you can see the process from right away from start to finish. I did a follow-up Q&A on that video, and that just, yeah, that didn't do anywhere near as well. But the composting in 10 days has done absolutely amazing. Over 1 million views on that. I just wish I had a better camera and the video editing was better. I like when the kids climb over you when broadcasting. See, it's fun, but when you're trying to get your when you're trying to express what or explain a point or something, and you've got a kid climbing over one shoulder and you've got another one in the other ear, it's like it's hard to concentrate. We got taken off the air once. YouTube kicked us off because we had a cot. When I used to do the live streams, I had Zaki's cot right next to him where my left hand is, and I used to lean on that. And what he did was he launched himself out of the cot and straight across over at me, and I got a warning from YouTube saying I'm putting children in danger, and and they took us off air for a bit. You know, they closed the live stream down. I know where Mr. Fox will be going. Have an automatic chicken door for out. They know what time it closes and go to bed. You can ask Adji's trying to add it, do it as per. Okay, that'll be wicked. That old recipe will be wicked. I like that. Yeah. What Amsterdam? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Just wondering, have you had any issues with my neighbors? Do they mind you gardening and making videos? I've not had any issues with my neighbors. I'm growing veg. I'm gardening in my own garden. I'm making videos in my own garden. If they had an objection to that, they could sod themselves. To be honest with you, because it's none of their business. That kind of thing is none of their business. If I'm doing something that will interfere with them, like I've got chickens. Okay, now if they had an objection to the chickens making too much noise or something like that, that's something that I'd consider and would make allowances for. But if they're gonna object to me growing food in my garden, yeah, forget about them. But I keep my neighbours sweet anyway. Most of my neighbours, I'm giving vegetables to. I'm giving eggs to. There's an elderly couple a couple of doors away, so anytime it's snowy, anytime it's windy, you know, and they can't get to the shops and stuff, I'll go and do the shopping for them. So with my neighbours, I'm quite sweet anyway. We've got a good with pretty much all of them. We've got a good relationship. Yeah. Next doors, their kids are pretty much my kids. That as soon as they wake up in the morning, they're in my house. So yeah. The slugs and snails help to break down kitchen veg waste in the compost. See, yes. Simple answer is yes. Slugs and snails are. It's not something that we like, but they're an essential part of the garden. You know, they're an essential part of garden. They might eat our plants, but they also do a lot of cleaning up. They also do a lot of eating of other plants that we don't always like, and you know, they help break stuff down. It's that overpopulation of slugs, and especially slugs where we don't want them. That's the problem. Slugs in the compost, absolutely fine. You won't get lots of slug eggs in the compost, so that's a good thing as well. But slugs in your beds, that's where you want to reduce habitat, you know, get predators in to eat those slugs, and keep them under control that way. Where did you get your inspiration from? Your backpack, isn't that it?
No, that's Khadijah's.
Then I don't know. But I'm not the one who uses it, would I? Have you guys finished doing the wallpaper?
Yeah.
Good,
Not actually, but we're gonna finish it tomorrow.
Okay.
We're eating now. Do you want to come down and get some chicken?
You guys go. I'll join in a few minutes.
Okay.
Where'd you get your inspiration from? Do you mean for the YouTube channel, or do you mean for gardening? Can't beat loyal allotment. Fox for keeping the squirrels, rats, mice away. Doesn't bother with the chickens, etc., because he's lazy, spoiled, and fed every day. Nice Santa Cruz. Okay. Great to hear. I live in New Jersey, US, and thinking of getting chickens for kids. I think they're fun. You know, they'd be great. You might get weird, just some neighbors that think you're doing something a bit weird. Everyone thinks I'm a bit weird. Even the people that I look after, they think I'm a bit weird. There's an old man who lives a few doors away from me, and every day he walks past, he's having a nosy into my garden to see what new thing I'm up to. So today I was out gathering, you know, firewood. So I came home with a couple of trees in my trailer, and so he's saying, look, when are you building your log store? So there's a video coming this weekend, so this Sunday, on the log store that I built. But he's saying, oh, that log store's too small, you need to build a bigger one. But yeah, you'll see this log store that I built. It looks absolutely wicked, and I've built it from scrap material. It's cost me absolutely nothing. It's I had the only money in it would have been, you know, screws and a bit of roofing felt. But it's a wicked log store. Andrea Moore, I eat the squirrels and pigeons and just call her rats. For gardening, who inspired you? Could I ask where the history is? So yeah, I mean, there's a few things. When we were kids, or when we were 6, 7, 8, that sort of age, my dad used to have an allotment. Pretty much everyone in our neighborhood used to have an allotment, and the allotments were that was the cool place to hang out for the old men. And we used to love going down there. My dad used to take the whole family down. My mum, my big sister, my big brother. We'd all be down there. So me and my brother, the younger two, my little sisters, they were sort of too small to be getting up to mischief. But me and my brother were getting into loads of mischief, running around looking at what other people were doing, nicking their fruit and stuff like that. And it's just happy times, It's just, it was happy times. And then after my dad died, my mum couldn't keep the allotment. She had 4 young kids to raise by herself. The elder, so we couldn't keep the allotment. We didn't have. We just we just lost that. We never had a garden because we lived in a terraced house. You came out of the one side, you're on the main road. You come out the other side, you had 4 foot of concrete, that sort of thing. That's the sort of that's pretty much the rest of my life up until about 10 years ago. And I always promised my mum that I'd buy her a house with a garden. And this is the first house that we've ever owned. And it was I had a nice job, a nice cushy job. Looked like I was on a good career path. And that's when that's when I bought this house. And it was like, here, Mum, this is yours. This is for you. It's got. It was when I saw this house, the plaster was coming off the walls. It was in a bit of a mess. The house itself, way too small for the amount of people that were going to be living here. But the garden was absolutely huge, because it's on a corner plot. In order to keep the fence line straight for everyone else, our house and the 2 next door, they just got a double garden, and so that's where we are. But most of my gardening knowledge, it comes from my mum. So most of my gardening knowledge comes from my mum, and she just sort of teaches me. That's my story. We built ours from 3 pallets and wood we got. Yeah, exactly. That's what I did with that. That's what I've done with mine. Scrap bits of wood and pallets. But it's got a sliding door. It's got sliding doors, sliding drawers, different compartments for different size wood, for your kindling, for your medium sized logs, for your big fat chunky bits. So yeah, we've got different bits. We brought up in Leeds. I lived in Sheffield till I was 18, and then I came to Leeds for uni. And after a year of being here, so me and my brother moved here at the same time. And after a year of just being here, I couldn't leave. We couldn't leave the girls in Sheffield on their own, so we moved them up as well. Random piano, walaikum assalam. What text back? I thought you were just sending me random ideas. I didn't know you wanted me to reply to them. Do you have an issue with spotted lanternfly? For us, it's not been a problem. It's not been a problem for us at all. I'll be honest with you, I've not even heard of them as a problem. See, you're welcome. I must say I admire the frugal way you handle your resources and the way you present your advice. See, Goran, the thing is, we grew up poor. So we couldn't afford to waste stuff. when I bought this house, I was doing really well, and then I damaged my spine shortly after I bought this house, um, and I ended up in a wheelchair. So I went from a really well-paid job, really nice career, to having no job overnight, and building myself up from there. Um, so even though there was I mean, qualification wise, I'm very very qualified, but because of my poor health, or my spinal issues, having a secure job has been a problem. So um, just like we grew up poor, I just make sure that we don't waste stuff, and I see, because we've still got a connection to people in Bangladesh and family in Bangladesh, and I see the sort of life that they live and the way they live. They don't waste anything, because they've got nothing, and it's the same sort of thing that we're a situation we're not far from. Um, we don't waste things because we can't afford to waste stuff. Um, so and I think that if more of us, used more, wasted a little bit less, um, the world would, you know, it's kind of it sounds a bit might sound a bit cheesy saying the world wouldn't be as as in much of a mess, because one of the biggest problems with things like climate change is because of the overconsumption. Um, because we use more than we need, and we're very, we can be very wasteful. So yeah, that's what yeah. uh, you're a proper son and gentleman, mate. I try. Well, I try to be. The thing is, my mum, look, my mum has never. She's not had it easy. She's not had it easy at all. Um, she's had. She's struggled through life. Um, she should be able to relax. And that's. I just wish I could make. Give her everything that she needed to just chill and not have to worry. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Um, yeah. Um, thing is, I don't know. I think we've got some knowledge, and I just want to share that. Um, so we've got some people coming in over on TikTok. So Bo Baggins is saying squash slugs ate all your squash plants. Oh, that's such a shame. Whereabouts in the world are you? Twitch. Walaikum salam. Alhamdulillah, very good. Planet Zog, missed the live stream. 8 o'clock there or thereabouts, UK time. We're here. So set it in your, for everyone who's saying they don't get a notification. Don't wait for YouTube notifications, because they're really poor. Get it in your diary. Yeah, I think Gardener's World finishes soon as well, so hopefully some of the Gardener's World fans will be popping in and saying a bit of a hello with us. Yeah, but yeah, there's some deep questions right at the end there. Um, um, yeah. Um, I have my alarm set on my phone for your lives. See, yeah, I've seen yeah, Graham, really appreciate all the support recently, and just the encouragement. Um, yeah, you know, I shared where I was a couple of weeks ago, how I was feeling a little bit down, and it was building up, and hopefully, yeah, I feel good again. I've been, I feel good again actually. Yeah. Thanks for the good chat and insight. Sorry, but I need to go just now. You take care, and we'll see you again next week, same sort of time-ish. Glad you're here. Yeah, followed you for about a year, and it's nice to hear some of your background. Total respect here. I meant to do. Do you know? One of the I meant to do one of the. I meant to do a video about where we grew up, go and visit my dad's allotment and where his allotment used to be, and see if some of the people that had allotments when we were kids have still got allotments, and uh, but I want that video to be good. I want it. I want it. I want it to be really good. So I don't know. Yeah, I want it. I want to make that video properly. If you know what I mean. Yeah, I just want to make it like a proper film, but without the knowledge and without the expertise and the time and everything, that video is just never getting made. But yeah, a new neighbour a few years back complained that his grass cuttings were not making compost. I explained to him how it works and that he was actually making grass vinegar, and he got grass vinegar. That's a wicked term. I like that. I like that, grass vinegar, pickled grass. Uh, Tariq, I'll reply to you, man. Where's my phone? Oh, my phone's on. I'm TikToking right now off my phone, so I can't. Um, so, Sarfraz, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. You're coming in, and I'm about to call it a night as well. You know, it's been a good chat. It's been a good chat. I'll do a small video, uh, a short video explaining the rules of the giveaway and how it's going to work very soon. Um, he needs to eat his chicken. Yeah, I've got to go and get some time with them before they're getting off to bed. So right, I'm gonna call it a night here. I've got a bit emotional after that last little bit. So someone's saying they're sending me a private photo. Can we get a mod to kick that person out? Hide this user on this channel. That'll be it. Okay, there we go. Yeah. I hope that person's out. Oh no! Oh, sugar. No. Oh no, 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 no. I've just hit it. Oh, I've just made a mistake there. Graham, Graham, I think I just made a massive mistake. I meant to hide this person's posting spammy messages. So if you've seen these messages, that I meant to hide this person, and there we go. We got rid of that person. Graham, are you still here? So I meant to hide that person, and and I clicked your name and I hid you. So I meant to block that person. I blocked you. This is why I rely on the mods, you know, because I've got fat fingers and they're a bit clumsy. But yeah, sorry about that. So what's up?
Do you think you could do a little break for the live stream? Have you read it, Shanamaz?
Not yet, but I'm coming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna read it in Dada's room because we're doing the live here.
all right, I'm gonna call it a night, guys. On that note, yeah, sorry about that. I'll see you again next time. Until then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.